Okay, are we live and is everything working? Does it look okay to everybody? Please let me know if it's working okay, because I just had my phone did a bit of a glitchy thing just before I started, and I hope it's okay. So no problems. Yes, Susan said, good morning, Carol. Good morning, Margaret. Is it okay? Can you guys see and hear me all right? Just the phone was having an issue, and I don't know what it was exactly, but perfect. Excellent. Okay, that's what we need to hear. Thank you so much. Susan says it's working for her and she's in Melbourne. Hey Anna, nice to see you here. Hi Monique. We've got a couple of our overseas ladies with us today. And I see we've got a few local girls as well. Hi there, Deb. How are you? Nice to see you. Just looking through now. Something before I forget, because I did forget to say this last time. This month is the only month to claim or redeem your bonus days points. So last month, if you placed an order with me, every $90 of order that you placed last month, or every $90 order, you got a voucher for $9. So basically a 10% off deal, and that can be redeemed until the end of this month, August. So if you placed an order last month, and if you received a supply pack for the craft along this month from me, that's telling you that you placed an order that's over $60. So if you placed an order that was over $90, you also got a bonus days voucher. I don't want you to miss out on those. However, I will tell you, and I did say this yesterday and the other night as well, I am this week having a buy one, get one free sale on my retired products. So more details are going to be out on that over the next day or so. It may start Tuesday, it may start Wednesday, just depends on if I'm able to get my act together by Tuesday or not. But if I'm not able to, it'll be Wednesday, Thursday. So, and that will be all the retired product that I am putting up as available. I'll have it actually in my private VIP group. So you need to be, if you're in Australia, you need to be a member of that group. And I'm putting that group on the screen right now so I don't forget. Linda Dolke's private Stampin' VIP group. If you search that on Facebook, you will find it. And as long as you're in Australia, there's a couple of membership questions to answer. Are you in Australia? That kind of thing. And if you wish to receive newsletters from me, you can also drop your email address as well. I do also have an email sign up on my blog as well. So lots of things to tell you tonight. We have so much going on right now, but I would like to get started on the card because I know that's what you're really here for. Who watched Craft Along yesterday? Hi there, Donna, all the way from Washington. Beautiful part of the world you live in. I could live there, no problems at all. I love it over there. Just gorgeous. Hey there, Gail. Nice to see you. Who else have we got? Katrina's here. Hi, Ellen. How are you? Nice to have you with me tonight. Chris is here from Melbourne or Victoria. Is it actually Melbourne, Christine? And do you prefer Christine or do you prefer Chris? Which do you prefer? So we all know. Joan from Queensland. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, it is the right Joan from Queensland. Yep. So, Shirley, haven't seen you for a while. Researching family history. That's always a fun thing to do. You have relatives in Texas. Who knew, right? All right. Oh, that's okay, Margaret. You can always go back. This is Margaret Griffiths. We can always go back and watch the replay. So it's up there available for anyone to watch however long you wanted to do that. So that's okay. And Donna too, you can always go and watch the replay later. But I am going to show you tonight the cards. Let's do that first before we start creating. This is the card we made live yesterday. Oh, better put it over to the desk. I nearly forgot again. There we go. This is the card we made live yesterday. It's got two little truckies on it and inside a cute little truck on the inside as well. I hope you enjoyed making this with me. And if you had the supply packs, all the bits and pieces were there. Of course, not the stamps because you need to do your own stamping, but all the truck pieces were there and all the pieces to put the card together. So I hope you liked it. Our theme this month was masculine cards. And I have almost finished putting up all the alternative tutorials. So these are the other cards that are included. If you placed an order with me last month for $60 or more, you'll receive all of these videos showing you how to make these cards, and you'll also receive the PDF that has all the measurements, and that has both imperial and metric. And you know what? That's what takes me most time, is trying to work out metric and imperial and getting it all into the document. That's the longest part of the time process when it comes to putting this together. So I'm into that bit now. I have almost finished editing the last video, so I am hoping to have them up either tonight or tomorrow, but it will be very, very soon. And if you wish to, if you didn't place an order with me last month, or if you live overseas, you can purchase them. Okay, these are available to purchase. I'll have all the details on the blog. Okay, and here's the blog address if you need to find it. Here we go. This is the blog address, lhiggins.blogspot.com. Head over there in the next 24 hours or so, and you will have all that information if you're interested in seeing them. So let's check out the cards. Let me just get rid of that. All right. Okay, so this was the main card that we made live that everyone got to see, but these are the other cards that are in there as well. We have this one, which is made with a new set. Actually, this is the new set for this one, is called Fragrant Forest. I can't say it. Fragrant Forest. Really hard to say if you don't concentrate. Well, hard for me anyway. I struggle with a lot of words. And something you might not know about me is that I have a lisp. When I was younger, it was, I think, a little more pronounced, but I've always kind of got away with it. But if I have to say too many S's in a row, I do struggle with it. Oh, you saw the replay, Megan. That's awesome. I'm so glad. And Chris is fine, so we need to remember that. Christine Gruevska, who likes to be known as Chris. So there we go. There you go. But I think you answer to anything. Is that right? All right, so this is a very simple card, and I show how to make this in the video that you can purchase if you wish, or that you will receive. And if you're in my team, you also get to receive that, so that's cool. Then there's this one, which has got the shiny electric guitar, and we talked about what kind of things help you make a great masculine card. What are the four main things that you need to think about when you're putting together a masculine card? This card has nearly all of them. Then that we did this one, and I love this. This is that metal plate 3D folder. Isn't it nice? I really like that. I borrowed it because I don't actually own it, and of course now I need to have it, because that's just how that works, right? And then the last thing that the last project is this one. Okay, and this is a bridge fold card, so it sits up like this for display. You would write your greeting. You put a piece of white on the back here and write your greeting on white. But this is kind of the last project in the series. I've got some snow there on my mountains. This set is a new one as well. This one is coming in the new mini catalogue on the 6th of September, the same as this one. So we've got a couple of sets, this one and also this one with all the pine trees in it, that will work really well for guy cards, as well as being a good choice for Christmas cards as well. So yeah, you want it too. I know, Kelly. I get it. I so get it. All right, so that's what was in our craft along this month. The nice thing about this card is it does fold flat to put in an envelope, a regular envelope. So so that's kind of cool, and we love it when that happens, right? Because you want to know that we can mail it to someone if we want to. So so there you go. So they're this month's masculine card selections in my craft along for August. So there we go. All right. Okay, on Friday night I gave you guys a choice. Do you remember? That embossing folder, yeah, it's fabulous. I really like it, Chris. I think that's fabulous. All right. On Friday night, we had a choice. I gave you a choice. Did you want to see the So Very Merry or the Timeless Charm stamp set? And the vote came in first for Timeless Charm. So tonight I'm going to do the other one. Tonight I'm going to do So Very Merry. This is a beautiful set. Really is. I really have loved creating with it. And I've mostly used, the one I've used, the image I've used the most in here is the bird. I love the little birdie. Is anyone surprised? I love him, like a little stained glass bird. He's so cute. But then also, I like this "'Tis the Season to be Jolly." That's just a beautiful greeting. Tonight, I'm going to use one of these. Okay, I'm going to use Santa or the Angel. And you guys get to pick which one. Okay, so which one would you like? Would you like the Santa or would we like the Angel? Either will be fine. And we're going to play around with that tonight. So I'm just waiting to see which is going to be the first one chosen. Ah, yeah, it's nice, Vicky. The Santa came first, and that was from, oh, gosh, that was so quick. Look at all those fast fingers. So Chris is first with Santa, and then Margaret was just ever so much slower with Angel. And then Megan said Angel, Kelly said Angel, then Margaret Griffith said Santa, Anna said Santa. So it's a bit of a, yeah, there's 50-50, I think. But I'm going to use the first one that was guessed. So we're going to go with Santa tonight. All right. So let's take this off. It's a photopolymer set, as you can see. These big circles are great for window cards, and I'm not doing a window card tonight, but that is actually a really nice idea. And here's my Santa. I'm going to put that on block D because it's a nice size for that. In fact, it's almost exactly the right size for this particular one. And because it's a photopolymer set, I am going to grab a mat. And I've got one right here. All right, let's pop that here. And I'm just going to use, I've got actually a couple of pieces of, here's a scrap. Let's just, which one will I use? I don't think it really matters. All right, so I'm going to be stamping on here. Now, I could use watercolor paper for this. I'm deciding whether or not I want to color it in with watercolors, or whether we want to use watercolor pencils, or whether we want to use blends. But I'm leaning towards either watercolors with my inks, or possibly yeah, maybe watercolor pencils, because they look fabulous as well. Either is really great. All right, so I'm making sure I get plenty of Versamark ink. Versamark ink is a clear, sticky ink, and this is going to be terribly, terribly boring to start with, because when I stamp this, you're not even going to be able to tell that I've stamped it. It's going to be, and I should have used my embossing buddy. Why do I do this to myself? Every single time I forget to use my embossing buddy. Doesn't matter. We're just going to go with it anyhow. All right. If you're much better at remembering these things than I am, then that's what I would definitely go over this with an embossing buddy first. If you're going on a dark color, it's almost necessary. On a light color, white, we will get away with it. So I've got a few different colors here, but I'm thinking for the Santa, I'm going to go gold. I'm going to have a gold one, and I am going to go on white. But because we're using embossing tonight, it means that it is very easy to contain our color. So let's bring this back. I'll get rid of these. And I'm just going to pop that in there, and I'm going to pour my gold powder over the top. Watercolor pencils. Oh yeah, vellum I would like to use when I do, and I might do this on another one. I'd like to use vellum, Megan, and do it on like a window card so the light comes through the window. I think that'd be really nice, because for a stained glass image, that's going to look really, really stunning. All right, so let's just, I'm using my my embossing additions kit, because it makes it very easy to contain all the bits so that we don't get embossing powder everywhere. It stays in my little tray, and then I just plug the hole. It's fantastic. So good. And I know Judy's got this. I don't know if Judy's watching tonight, but I know she really loves hers. All right. And then I'm just going to turn my heat gun on at the wall. And we're going to heat this until you'll know, because this is a metallic, it's really easy to see when it turns. Okay, it's going to go gold and shiny, and you won't have any trouble seeing it at all. So because we use a sticky ink like a craft ink or Versamark, that is what your powder sticks to. Can you see this starting to turn? And I'm just using basic white card. But if I was going to add a lot of water, like go heavy on the watercolor, then I could also use watercolor paper. But basic white will still be fine. All right, nearly done. Just making sure now. Okay. All right, can you see? I just want to try and get it so that we've got a bit of light on it. Can you see the shine on the image? All right, so the image now is kind of raised and shiny, and it's really nice to work with. All right, so what did people say? Monique said watercolor pencils. Let's go back and have a little look. Donna doesn't want me to use vellum, Megan. Did you see that? She said, shh. I like it too. Surprise, surprise. Yeah, I will do embossing on vellum another night because that's lovely, and we'll make it into a like a window card. That'll be now. Monique was the first person to say watercolor pencils. Okay, so I don't know. Did anyone else vote for that? Ellen's voting for vellum. Yay! Colored vellum in pastel colors. Yeah, I know. I remember we used to have that years and years ago. I just think vellum is such a soft material and just so pretty to work with. All right, so I'm going to grab my watercolor pencils. We've actually got a couple of assortments, and I believe there's a newer assortment that has a new color, I think, in it from memory. Let's have a little look at the watercolor pencils. So if you ever want to find things, if you turn to this page here, page 173, okay, this is the accessories index. So it goes through, so ink and coloring, okay, is what we're looking for because that's where you'd expect watercolor pencils to be. And down the bottom, you know, it's got coloring tools and markers and more. So let's have a little look. Those are all on 136. So let's have a look there. Nope, that's not what I'm after. 122 to 123. All right, let's try that. Okay, that's all these ones, but over the page here we have our watercolor pencils on 125. So we've always had assortment 1 and assortment 2. Okay, do you see though we have a little N next to assortment 1? And the reason that's N, that means it's new, but actually it just means they've changed out a couple of the colors. So for example, some of these are going to be the same as before, but Fresh Freesia is a new addition because that wasn't in our color collection before. It was only an in color. And Pecan Pie is also a new addition. Okay, so we've got a couple of colors in here that weren't in assortment 1 before. And then assortment 2 is the same as it has been for a couple of years. So, yeah, I think it's good to note that that little pink N means there's either been a change or there's something different in there. Right. The other thing, and see, one of the reasons why in assortment 1 we used to have Bermuda Bay. Well, Bermuda Bay is gone. Okay, that's no longer in our color collection. So that one, and Pacific Point, I think was in there too. Yeah, Pacific Point, that one's gone. So that's why there's some new colors in there and why they're calling it a new set, because they've taken out some of the retired colors. All right, so I'm going to pull out. Let's see. Well, we know that we want Santa to be, he could wear something different, I suppose, but I think I would like to see him in a red suit. Now, we also have in here, so the colors are listed here on the back. Real Red is one of the basic colors. And then I have, have I even got Real Red here? Let's just have a quick look. Huh, look at that. I don't. I don't have Real Red in there. It might be in the wrong pack. Let's have a little look. I've got Cherry Cobbler, but I think it needs to be Real Red, not Cherry Cobbler. Okay, it just fell out of the pack. Real Red. There we go. Real Red. I mean, Santa's got to wear Real Red, right? No, unfortunately, the new color, it's just sold as a pack. Luckily, they're not expensive. They're really a good buy. And that's why I like them so much. Let's have a quick look here. Okay, so on page 125, assortment 1 has 13 pencils and it's $28. Okay, so it's just over $2 a pencil. And then the assortment 2 is only 10 colors, 10 pencils, and that one's $21.75. Okay, so gives you a bit of an idea. They're not expensive to grab all these, and I think it's really handy to have them as a set. All right, so I'm actually going to start with my Real Red. Now, if I wanted to add some shading in Cherry Cobbler, I absolutely could, and I may do that. But I'm going to start just by putting some color. I'm going to lay some color down in part. I'm not going to color in the whole thing. I'm just going to, and you might notice that actually embossing makes it really easy to color and to stay inside the lines because, you know, you've got that little raised edge. So I think it looks really, really good. So I'm just going to, I'm putting color inside these, but I'm not coloring in the whole thing. And I'm being pretty fairly like heavy-handed with it. I want it to be a good amount of color because I'm going to be coming in and moving this with a water painter. And like I said, we can come back in with Cherry Cobbler and add some darker if we want to at the end. All right, so I'm just going to do it like this. I'm just having a look and seeing which water painter. Got to squeeze some water through and make sure, yep, this one's good. This is a medium. You could also go in with a fine point as well. But I'm just going to start here with the medium, and you'll see straight away that it moves the color. Can you see that? And as I come out, the color fades. So it starts dark here and then fades out. And it makes it look like you really are great at blending and you know what you're doing. Even if you're not really sure that you do. All right, so this is how I would color them. And that dark edge fading to a light is just so nice. It's really lovely. So let's, and kind of we're pulling the color across with our, and you can see you don't have to be, you don't have to be too careful. You can be, and because of the lines of the embossing, it resists your, your colors, so you can go straight over the lines with your water pen and it's going to look really great. Can you see how this is looking? All right, so it just looks really good straight away. Oh, hey, Inika, nice to see you. And somebody else from the Netherlands. That's very, very cool. All right, so then if I wanted to go in and add some more depth with my Cherry Cobbler, I could. I would probably be best to wait until that was dry, but I would, come in on the edge here and we'll add a little bit more color. And then come back in with squeeze some water through my water painter again, and then we're going to just bring that bit of color there. All right, so that's how that's looking at the moment. All right, now I'll do his hat while I'm here as well. I am not going to do, I'm going to leave the trim untouched because that's white. So that's going to actually work if we just leave it, seeing as our background is white anyway. Who loves to color? Where are my people that love to color? Does it bring back good memories of coloring? I know I used to love coloring when I was a kid. There we go, just like that. All right, so that's how this is looking right now. Yes, you can use blender pens with the pencils. In fact, I did that on a video a couple of weeks ago when we did this one. Does anyone remember we did this one a couple of weeks ago? And it's sitting right here. And we just really, really roughly colored in the trees and then used the blender pens over the trees to even out the color. So yes, blender pens work great with watercolor pencils. I'm actually using water tonight, but you don't, you don't have to. All right, let me see. I've got basic gray and I've also got white, and I'm just wondering, I want him to be, well, maybe we'll have a mix of things. Maybe we will, because I feel like I want to use, I want to give his face, like, make it skin colored, and we've got some blends that would do that really, really well. But also, should we be leaving his beard white, or should I make it a light gray? I mean, I don't know. I'm tempted to leave that white. Let's do the background and then see if anything else needs to be done. So what else have we got here? What colors? So the colors here in this assortment too are Cherry Cobbler, Flirty Flamingo, Cajun Craze, Crushed Curry, Granny Apple Green, Coastal Cabana. That's got to be on my hot list. There's Coastal Cabana. That would look lovely. Balmy Blue would look good. Night of Navy would look good. So that's Balmy Blue. Doesn't look like it, but that's actually Balmy Blue. And then this is, let me see. I've got two Balmy Blues. Where's my navy? Pacific Point is gone. Balmy Blue we have again. Goodness me, I've got like 3 of those. Maybe my navy has gone for a walkabout. I don't know. Maybe actually Night of Navy and Balmy Blue would look really good together. And that's right now what I'm tempted to use. But I need to go back to the drawer. Thankfully, it's only just next to my desk. And let's see if I can find it. Well, that's really interesting that I don't seem to have. I've got 3 packs and I cannot locate my Night of Navy unless it got put totally in the wrong set. Ah, found one. Yeah, and it was in the wrong set. So there you go. That's what I get for... All right, so how about this? What do you think about this? I like the idea of Coastal Cabana, but I'm not sure about it. We could use Night of Navy. Let's do the colors over here so you can see what they are. So that's Balmy Blue. Doesn't look like it, does it? This is Night of Navy. And this is Coastal Cabana. Those 3. Do we want all 3? Do we just want 2? And the other color that would look really good in here would either be Crushed Curry or Daffodil. Daffodil Delight. So here's Crushed Curry. And don't forget, when we add water, the colors change a little bit. So let's squeeze through some water. And this is, see how it changes when, and this is my Balmy Blue. Here's my Coastal Cabana, which is my personal favorite, and there's my Night of Navy. All right, so there's my colors. Because I think these would look nice in the background. All three. Yeah, I'm just using Whisper White or Basic White. Yes, you don't want to go too crazy with the blender pen because you can start to ball your paper. So you just go real gentle. Yeah. And I'm just having a little look to see. Inika was talking about a problem, the rolling up of the paper. Yeah, go very sparing. You don't rub the paper with the blender pen. Okay, you actually, it's almost like floating the tip over the surface of the paper, so you're barely touching it, and then you won't have that issue, and it actually works better. So there we go. I think Basic White is so you've got to have your cardstock right, Basic White or watercolor paper, but Basic White I think is great if you're using just true Basic White, and then yeah, go easy with your blender pen. Oh, yes. So Cajun Crushed Curry is the colour in there. And then in the original set, we also have Daffodil Delight, which I have here. So you can see this is Crushed Curry and Daffodil are quite different. So Daffodil's much lighter and brighter, and then crushed curry is like a gold, more like a dark gold. So, all right, so we have lots of people voting with lots and lots of different things. Navy and balmy, yes, I think maybe I will just go with those to start with, and then maybe let's just see how we go. All right, I'm going to start with my Night of Navy. I'm going to use it. I'm just going to use it really gently here in this little bit. And then let's go Balmy Blue next. This is a bigger area. And we can color in the whole thing, or we can do like we did before. We can have it so that we're just coloring in a part of it, and we're going to spread that color out with our water pen. I'll start with that, and then we'll see. All right, I'm going to be brave. I'm going to use the Coastal Cabana. Let's see how that looks. Lay a bit more color down. All right, and then shall we do... All right, I'm going to go back to deciding whether I want to add the... Oh, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's just go. So I've got some people saying daffodil. Megan said daffodil. You know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm going to add some daffodil, and if we don't like it, it's not the end of the world, right? I posted something on my my Facebook page today, not my business page, just my personal one, talking about this. The guy was talking about just don't be afraid to make mistakes. And I really think when you're doing cards and crafting and all this kind of stuff, that's really, really important. Okay, you don't want to, if you're afraid of making mistakes, and sometimes you just got to go for it, and it might not look how you intended, but first of all, you learn something. You learn what works and what doesn't, and what you would do next time if you had the chance. All right, so I'm just adding some color here. I'm going to go with that same selection again. So we're going to go this time the balmy blue. And then I'm going to go, I've got a bigger piece of Coastal this time down here near his face. Just be a little bit careful. I don't want to color in his face. So I'm just being a little careful there, but not too much, because like I said, the embossing makes it really easy to stay in the lines. It's helping you. All right, so let's see. How is that? What do we think? Do you like that? All right, let's make sure some water's coming through. It's a little slow, this one, but I'm just going to make sure. And then I'm going to start here. Move it, so I'm just moving that color out, spreading it around. Same with the Coastal Cabana, which is still one of my favorite colors. Bermuda Bay used to be, and of course they've taken that away now. I don't know why this is not quite squeezing through as hard as I would like, but that's okay. It's still wet enough to do its job. All right, and then we're going to come into the navy. Move that color, move it up towards the top. Now you can always come in. See, that one hasn't spread as well because I need more color. So I'm going to actually I'm going to wait until it's dried a bit, because if I add it now, it's going to look a little different. Let me see. Let me just see if I've got another one here that's got some water in it. I only filled up the one before I started tonight, and it's not playing nice. This one's got the tiniest little bit in it. I don't know if that'll squeeze through. Oh, yeah, it is actually. It's squeezing through much better, even though it's got less water. All right, let me grab that one. There we go. That's better. Now, I'm not paying any attention to comments while I'm doing this because I'm having too much fun. It is a bit like light coming through. That's what it's meant to look through. It's meant to give you that stained glass kind of look. And I think it's lovely. Don't you think it looks good? Let's smooth that color out. And then this one here with the yellow. So the colour I ended up choosing was Daffodil. I left the crush curry. And I'm just wondering, is this meant to be part of his garment, this bit here, or do you think that's his beard? I feel like it might be part of his garment, but I'm not sure. All right, I'm going to come back in with Night of Navy, and I'm going to add a bit more colour. And I want to be able to spread that. But because it had started to dry, it hasn't worked quite as well. Doesn't matter, it still looks good. I'll wait for it to dry again, and I'm going to add a bit more colour. All right, I'll come back and work on that a bit more when it's dry. All right, so what do you think? That's a great idea too. And Color Lifter, that the Blends Color Lifter is fabulous for that. Works really, really well. I'm going to add a bit darker red down here. The Cherry Cobbler. All right. Could be his glove. Yeah, maybe. Maybe I should have done it black. It's hard to tell, that little bit there. I'm not really sure. Anyway, I'm going to come back in and sort of even this out a little bit later. But in the meantime, we have a couple of punches. I'm actually going to punch this out. We have 2 punches. This one's going to be a little small. This is the 2-inch. And when you put this in, you can see that this is going to be ever so... See, it's going to fit, but it takes off that gold edge around the outside, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to go to the next one, the next size up, which is the largest one we have right now. This is in the annual catalogue, whereas the 2-inch is only online, but this is the 2 3/8 inch punch. And when I put this one in, you're going to see it gives me the whole shape, and actually, let me just get this into the right space, and actually gives me a little bit of a border all the way around. It's nice, isn't it? Just like that. So let's push that down. Now, if you wanted to, depending on how much water you've added, it might just need a bit of flattening down, like stick it under a book or something like that for a few minutes, but it's not too bad. I don't mind that. All right, so this is kind of drying off now, but not quite there yet. So I'm still going to wait with the navy before I come in, but I still like it. Would you color? I would color on the back, Megan. That's the answer to the question. You would emboss on one side and then turn it over and color on the back. It's called the stained glass. Very appropriate. It's called the stained glass technique. So yeah, and that way you don't have to be careful at all. You can scribble all over the back, and then you turn it over and you have just the lovely color coming through. All right, so this is how this is looking. It's got, because of the yellow, I think it's quite colorful. Maybe, do you think it's too colorful? What do you think, guys? Do we like all the colors, or do we think we would be better off? I might be going overboard with this navy, but that's okay. I just feel like it. And I'm going to squeeze a bit more water through. Oh, it's almost empty, this one. And then I'm just going to try and fix that up a little bit. We may end up just colouring the whole thing. That's okay though. All right. Anyway, you get the idea, okay? Oh, you like it. What about his face? Good question. I feel like it needs something, you know, but I don't. I'm wondering, we could use, I don't have a pencil for it, but I could use Petal Pink and use my water painter and just sort of colour his face with Petal Pink. That could work. Let's see. Let's see how that would look. So if I put my block into the Petal Pink ink and then I pick it up with my pencil, and let's just put this on this piece of paper and see how the colour is. That's kind of the colour that it turns out to be. Can you see that? Maybe, I think it's probably very close to right. What do we think? Let's just use that. Let's just do that. You could also use blends. We have skin tone blends that you could use as well. There you go. How about that? Is that better? So petal pink actually works quite well in this case, doesn't it? A red nose, but then he'd be like Rudolph. But we could. Would you like it to be, or maybe he's been, you know, having a little bit too much to drink. Shall I go with red, or I could go Calypso Coral, because that's one of our, you know, that's this. Let's try that to see. That would give him kind of a reddish tone nose without it being overly red. So we could do Calypso Coral, or we could go with real red. What do we think? The white pencil, would it make a difference or give me a texture? Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I haven't actually. I don't know. I'm actually going to give him a little bit of a Calypso Coral colouring here. Right, and I'm just going to leave it like that. Right, and if you can see that, it's just a little bit red, but not too much. Okay, all right. So there we go. We've got our Santa, and I'm going to say he's done for now. I'm going to come back, and I won't be able to help myself. I'm going to have to come back and work more on that blue, but we'll do that later. All right, we have a brand new embossing folder, and I've decided to use it tonight. It's this one coming out in the mini catalogue that's coming out on the 6th of September, and it is called Christmas Tidings, I believe. Love it. It's got like lots of words, and one, you know what I love about this folder, and I didn't realize it until I bought it, that it will work portrait, but it will also work landscape, because you've got greetings that go, you know, horizontally and vertically, so it will work for either. So love that. For this card though, we're going to go, and I've already taken the liberty, just in the interest of time, to already emboss this. Okay, you could sponge some color over it, which would look rather nice, but I thought tonight it would just be lovely to have our Santa on some dimensionals on this background piece. And there's lots and lots of things you can do with this. I've actually had a bit of fun with it already. I've used, in fact, you can probably see I haven't actually quite cleaned it off. I used some white ink inside my folder and coloured some of my backgrounds, and gee, they look good. They look absolutely fantastic. I coloured the vellum from the back. Yes, that is correct. That is correct. All right, so I'm just going to pull out some dimensionals. Here we go. And I'm going to pop this right here. I'm thinking maybe in the middle for this one. In the middle or on the side? No, in the middle, I think. And let's pop that here. Just 3 is fine. Take the backs off. And there he is, sitting like so. The colours look good on the white, don't they? Don't you think? Looks really nice. Now I did think about maybe adding this. This is also in the online store. Okay, this is the red and gold spotted trim, or a spotted ribbon. Just beautiful. But I haven't decided yet. It'll probably depend what we decide to do with our greeting. Okay, so I'm deciding what I want to do with this. I might just have a piece that goes straight across here, and then maybe the ribbon will sit to one side. That might be really lovely. So let's try that. How wide is this? This piece is 10 centimeters wide. So I'm going to grab my trimmer. And we'll make this 10 centimeters wide as well. And I'll cut that down in just a moment. But the stamp that I wanted to use is the one, hang on, let's set it over here. This one. I really like this greeting. It says, "'Tis the season to be jolly," and I think it goes really well with the Santa. So let's pop that on a block. And which color will I use? I could use Coastal Cabana. That would look quite good. Or I could use maybe Night of Navy. What do you think? What what color would we like our greeting to be? Does anyone have an idea? When you emboss, did you do the whole card? I just did this panel, this whole panel, okay, and you can see it's debossed on this side, but this side is the embossed side. And so yeah, that's just, I just ran this sheet through inside my folder. All right. So people are saying, oh, okay, hello, hello, hubby, Inika's hubby. Have a nice lunch together, you guys. All right, navy, says Kay. All right, so let's go with that. Okay, make sure this is the same width. Yes, it is. And I'm going to pop this. Oh, I might have added too much ink to that, but anyway, we'll find out in just a second. I'm going to, I need to get above it. I'm going to go to the left, because I think I'll put my ribbon on the right. All right, so that's how it is. That's the navy. It's quite dark. Do we think it's all right? Is it too dark? Anyway, let's see. Let's cut that down. So this is at the 3 centimeter mark, like so. And let's pop that straight across there. I like the white on white. I think white on white looks really, really good, especially when you've added lots of other colors. And then if we wanted to have this, then let's try adding a small bow. I don't want to go crazy with my bow, but let's see. So I'm just going to pull this out. I want to twist it over so that the dots are showing on both sides. And let's twist that as well so the dots are showing, because as you can see, the back of it isn't as pretty. The back of it is this, I mean, it's still fine, but it's the dot side is the side that's the star of the show. So let's, all right. Okay, and I was thinking that I will put this here, but I'll need to cut this tail shorter. So let's grab my ribbon scissors. And we'll cut that off. Like so. And this is going to go to one side here, and this will move down a little bit so you can read that sentiment. And I feel like we need a little bit of bling here on the side. Is the bling queen here tonight? I haven't seen her. Is she here? Goodness. Can you use watercolor pencils on the stamps? No, not really. No, they don't work well. Too light. You can kind of play around a little bit, but all right. So just going to fluff my bow up a little bit by sticking my finger into the loops. And all right, so I'm going to move this down a little bit so it's easier to see, and then we'll put a little bit of bling on this side. So I'm actually going to put this on dimensionals as well. I think that will look nice. Here they are, they're hiding. Gold bling, yes, I think gold bling would be good. I agree with you. Megan has a good suggestion there. So I'm going to put 2 on each side and 1 here in the middle. How's this coming together? Do we like it? Do we like this? All right. So yes, I think you're right. I think some gold bling would be really nice. I mean, we also could pull out the color here and add some, you know, one of these other colors, but I think gold bling would be really good. We do have this. These are gorgeous. These are from one of our new sets coming in the new annual catalog. Those are beautiful, those gold ones there. Could also get away with those green, but no, the gold. The gold is a star. And another option that would be great would be these, the brush metallic dots. So these ones are shinier, but these ones, the brush metallic, are a nice idea as well. And we also have gold sequins. We've got those. Lots of choices. What do we think? Wink Stella, great idea, Kelly. I'll come back and do that. Definitely. Not showing the ribbon. The color isn't right. I think we're managing to get away with it. And I know what you mean. Like, it doesn't really need the ribbon, to be honest. The ribbon looks dark, doesn't it? Do we think, should we take it off? What do people think? On or off? Or should we use a different ribbon? I have got a couple of other great ribbons that are coming in the new catalogue. Here's one. This is a nice one. This is iridescent white. That's another possibility. But to me, it has more of a silver look about it, which might not go with the gold. So, I don't know. Off, says Sandra. Off, Kelly. Off, Mo. Oh, everyone says remove the ribbon. Okay. Yep. Okay. So that's a possibility, but I feel it doesn't quite go with the gold embossing. Right? Let's see what else we have. I've got my ribbons all sitting here, and there's so many. This one is a possibility. So this is in our annual catalogue, and it is the satin, what's it called? Satin edge ribbon. So that's this one. So that's a possibility. We could tie a nice bow with that. We also have Pool Party that would actually match in with the Coastal Cabana. So that's another possibility as well. So many choices, you guys. Isn't that always the way? And I have the Balmy Blue variegated ribbon. That would also go. Let's pull that out. There's this one. All right, so we've got a number of ribbon choices. Gold, gold. Pool Party, says Monique. No Pool Party, says Megan. Do you mean no, comma, Pool Party, or no Pool Party? Definitely not Pool Party. Well, the first one anyway is the sheer with the silver edge. I won't use, Glenda, because I've got gold embossing, and the silver and the gold aren't going to go together. So that's why I haven't chosen that one. Although right now that's my favorite one I'm using all over the place. All right, so we've had some votes for the gold, so let's go with the gold. All right, so I'm just going to quickly tie this one. The idea is you don't want your tails, or you don't want your loops to be too big. So we're just going to kind of fiddle around with it and make it the shape we want it to be, because that's what you do with ribbon. You keep working it until it looks the way you want it to look. No one ties a ribbon perfect the very first time. Okay, it takes some fiddling and adjusting. All right, I think that's better. What do you guys think? Is that better? It is nice, isn't it? All right, I've got a lot of ribbon on my desk now. All right, let's bring this in. All right, so if you're just tuning in and you're in Australia, you want to make sure that you're part of my VIP group, because I'm going to be having a buy one, get one free sale this week, and all the details are going to be on my private VIP group. Also, there'll be some details on my blog as well. Okay, but it is something that I've been working up to for a little while, and I've still got some work to do on it. So it might go live Tuesday if I'm very organised. More likely Wednesday. So stay tuned for the actual go live time. But that's what I'm planning. And how it works is you go through the retired stuff that I will have pictures of up online there. And did we decide that is heaps better? Yep. Okay. Heaps better. There we go. People are happier with this. That's great. Oh, you don't like Pool Party. I'm so sorry, Megan. You and I this is sad, because does this mean we can't be friends? because Pool Party is my favorite color. I'm so sorry. I love it. Oh, hey, Nina. Nice to see you. Lovely to have you with us. Thank you for dropping by. All right. So this is coming together, but we do need some bling here. And the choices in the end. Did we end up deciding? I don't know if I missed the comments. Yeah, haha, organized. Not. Exactly. You know me well. I am not organized. All right. So what did we decide with? Oh, and there was somebody voted for, Kelly said brush metallic. And Wink of Stella on the hat. That's right. All right. Well, let's do that, shall we? I've got some Wink of Stella here. Let's have a little look. Here we go. Let's do Wink of Stella on his hat. Now, Wink of Stella also acts as a great way to spread your color. So if, you know, I could have also spread my color with this. All right. So now he has a sparkly hat. And I'm going to try and mess with this bit again because I just can't quite. There we go. I'm going to come back in. You know what? It's going to be okay regardless. All right. So we've taken your suggestions. We can bond over vellum. Okay. All right then. Good. Great. All right. So the brush metallic was what I think got voted the most. So let's go with that. And so we have gold, copper, and bronze on here. But I'm going to go with 3 here. 1. Whoops. 2. These need to go next to each other. And they need to be the same distance on both sides. I'm going to use both. 3 little ones. How does that look? Does that look good? Is that balancing my card okay? I think it does. So the last thing to decide is whether or not I need a mat under this. And to be honest, I am thinking about not using a mat, which I know is a bit unusual for me because I normally would. But I kind of like the white on white look. Here's a little thing. I'll tell you something I promise you is true. Every time I use a lot of white on a project, every single time, my Instagram loves white, lots of white. I don't know why, but Instagram just loves it. Okay, that's how it's looking if I just do it on the white. Do we like that? Well, Leslie said real red matte. Megan's saying no matte. Yeah, I'm leaning towards no matte. So, so there we go. What do I need? Some light grey in the white areas. Possibly. Yeah. Well, you know, here's something else we could do. We could Wink of Stella the white areas. So, I mean, I could come in here and just make it shiny. How about that for a start? And we'll make him have a shiny beard too. There we go. Now he's got a sparkly, I don't know if you can see it. It's hard to see in the light. He's got a sparkly white furry bed on his hat. All right, let me pop this whole thing down. I'm not going to do a matte tonight. Like I said, it's very unusual for me. You could have, if you needed a matte, I think your suggestion of a red matte would have looked good. Leslie, I think you said it was Leslie that said the red matte. But we're going to go no matte tonight. All right, let's pop this down. And that's how my So Very Merry card is going. That's actually the first time I've used the Santa set, the Santa stamp from that set. I haven't used it up until tonight, so I'm really glad to have used it. There we go. And I'm going to call it a finished card. What do you think? Do we like it? The pom-pom. Oh, I did forget the pom-pom. Thanks. All right, so let's put that. Just, and you can see it when you hold it in the light that he's all sparkly. It looks really good, actually. I do like it. It turned out great. All right, so let's pop that to one side. And I've got one more thing I'd like to make with you now. So I'm just going to move a couple of things off the table to get myself kind of sorted, situated. Let's move these. the other night I said that we would play with a new set. And we talked about, I think, did we vote on Friday night to decide which set we were going to use? Because I'm pretty sure I said I was going to use this one. I hope I'm right. All right, so I'm going to, this is a piece of Fluid 100 watercolor paper. I need to order more. I'm almost down to the bottom of my stash. I love this stuff. And I'm going to have, I'm deciding, I'm going to cut this to 8 centimeters. And I'm not sure whether or not, I'm not sure. So on a card base size, so just bring that card in we just used. Is that right? Yeah. So 8 centimeters is going to make that a really good size for a standard card front. All right. And I'm going to do a bit of stamping with a new set. So this is another set coming on the 6th of September. It's called Autumn Leaves. Really pretty. Everything in this set I liked. Almost, you know, it wasn't on my very first order. And then I kind of, sometimes it takes a while for me to decide whether I really do. I like it, but I think, oh, am I really going to use it? I won't get it straight away. And then by a couple of weeks go by and I'm like, oh no, I need to have that. Whoops. All right, so I might need a bigger stand for that, a bigger block. I'm going to go with my E block for the big leaf. And then we've got a smaller one here, which I'll put on my D block. And a smaller one again, which will probably fit on my C block or another D. And we're just gonna do like a bit of a background here. It'll be a bit of fun. It's got some nice pieces in it, and the dies are fabulous. The dies are so good. I really, really like them. The paper is stunning. It's 6x6 paper, and it's got those, you know, the realistic photo images on one side, which is just gorgeous. But on the other side, you've got your foil. How beautiful. This has got copper foil, and it's just stunning. I don't know if you can see how gorgeous that is. Very hard to see on the camera, but really lovely. Now I think there's 4 sheets of each design. Let me see. I think that's right, because there's 48 sheets in the pack. So then the next one you've got, you know, like some knitting there, and on the back you've got your foil again. Aren't they beautiful? Love, love, love them. Then this one, the next one here, has your photo again on one side. All right, and on the back. So the back is actually the specialty paper. Isn't it lovely? I know, it's beautiful, just gorgeous. Even though we don't have Thanksgiving as such, like the US here, these are still definitely beautiful designs that anyone could use, Thanksgiving or not. Okay, with some beautiful wood grain there. Look at that. So that's Moody Mauve and copper. How nice. Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. This one, well, that's taken from up above straight down into the trees. Look at those gorgeous colors. That's just stunning. On the back we've got, I think, do you think that's Mossy Meadow or is it Old Olive? And copper. Love it. Just beautiful. And then next one we've got like corduroy, kind of looks like velvet or corduroy kind of fabric. And on the back it's like tiles, but it's got the shiny copper again. So nice. Some of the papers in this new catalogue are just to die for. I think that it's a standout for the DSPs. Pumpkins on the back. You've got your copper, and to me looks like Pretty Peacock. Just beautiful. And some books. And on the back, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I know, the foil sides. Me too. I love it. Even though I do like these, I think the foil is stunning. Moody Mauve again. And there's some Moody Mauve tones in that card, in those leaves as well, don't you think? That's interesting, don't you think? Looks all soft and leathery, doesn't it? And on the back, more tile, kind of a Moroccan kind of a design. Then we have some meadow again. More books, and it's like cream, vanilla, and copper. just beautiful. So yeah, if you miss those in the catalogue, they are 6x6, but they are absolutely stunning and can't wait to play with them. So I just thought you might like to see those. But right now I'm going to grab myself and I'm going to pull out a couple of autumn leaf colours. So let's see. We've got copper clay. That looks pretty autumny. We know Cajun Craze. Cajun Craze is a little bit more orange than copper clay. Don't you agree? But they're both nice. We've got Crushed Curry is a good autumn colour. If we need to go into a green, I would probably go Mossy Meadow. And if we wanted to go into a brown, we've got Pecan Pie and Early Espresso. So we've got these kind of colours. So absolutely beautiful. Love them all. But I thought I would just start with a couple. Let's start with Copper Clay and see how this goes. And now, if we wanted to, we could do multicolours, and I'll save that video for another video one Friday night, and I'll show you how that works. All right, so I'm actually going to then come in here. Maybe I don't know. Let's go Cajun Craze. And like I said, I'm using watercolor paper here. So those two are very similar, but one's just a little bit more orange. When we hit them with water though, it might look a little different. So I'm going to go in here with Crushed Curry with my smaller leaf. And let's throw that across here. And maybe here. And then we've got our leaves here that I think I'll hit them with Mossy Meadow. And let's see. All right. And maybe. All right, just like that. Maybe a little bit more down in this corner. Maybe just a leaf over the edge there. And that's pretty good. That's kind of what I had in mind. Oh, cherry cobbler. That would have been good. Yeah, actually. Now you said that, I'm wishing I used it. But never fear. We could still come back to that. So hold that thought. We may decide to bring in another colour. So I'm just going to start with these ones. And we're just keeping it really simple at the moment. I'm just cleaning them off with my handy dandy Stampin' Scrub because I love it. Use it all the time. All right, happy with that. Now, can I just tell you, if you don't have one of these in your collection, this is a water spritzer. You buy them in packs of 2 from Stampin' Up. We have these. They're very inexpensive, and if you don't have it in your collection, you need them, okay? Or at least a little water bottle, little spray water bottle or something, okay? But you need it to spray a fine mist. These are great for that, okay? Oh, yeah, wild wheat would have been good too. Why didn't I think of that? Wild wheat and pebble path are great colours for autumn. Just thinking about that, like these two. They would have looked really good in there. Yeah, oh well. Next time, right? So I'm just going to spray this, and I'm just going to let the water do its work. So when you do this, you might notice that the water starts to move, okay? There's a bit of this in one of the cards that I did for Craft Along yesterday. Second generation Stamp Up of Cajun Craze. Yeah, that would look good. All right. So you can decide how much water you want. The more you add, the more these are going to move around and do different things. So I might not want to do it too much more. You can sort of see the color is kind of filling in a little bit. Can you see that? Looks good though, doesn't it? I love this look. I just think it's really, really nice. And we could have, like I said, used any autumn colors, and everything's going to start to move around and do its thing. All right. So if you want this to be more, you could also use blending brushes around the corners with some of the colors. Like, you know, we might add some more, you know, more of the Crushed Curry around the edges with the blending brushes, and that would look really good as well. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to come in with my tweezers that are also from the Embossing Editions kit. And I'm going to hold this down and I'm going to move the colour around a little bit, but I'm also going to dry this off. Yes, watercolour paper, Kay, that's correct. This is the Fluid 100 watercolour paper that we sell. I love this paper. It's really, really great. It's got just enough tooth to be textured, but not too much tooth that it interferes with your stamping. So really, really lovely. Sorry, if anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about, tooth is like the texture on the surface of the watercolor paper, how much, like how bumpy it is, basically. So you can see it's sort of becoming quite blurry around some of the edges, but you can still see the basic shape of the stamping, but it's the color has moved around and almost colored them in. Can you see that? Okay, I'm going to just say that's enough for now. All right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in, now we've got a number of different stamps that have splatter. Okay, this Quiet Meadow splatter is one of my favorites. I use it all the time, so that would be cool. We also have a new set called Forever Forest. And I'm not sure where I put my Forever Forest set. I was just looking to see if it's still in the box. Maybe, I don't know. But the Forever Forest set has a nice splatter in it too, which is kind of, could also be like snow. Now, the question is, what color will we do I want to do a bit of splatter on this, and I'm thinking I'll just use the one here from the Quiet Meadow set. Okay. And we're not going to go overboard. Pebble Path would be a nice choice for this. So you can see the color that this is. It's kind of a gray brown, really nice. We could go with Early Espresso, which is darker. We could go with Pecan Pie, which would be lighter. Or we could use Cherry Cobbler, as was suggested earlier. What about some mauve? Ooh. Yeah, the mauve would be nice. Maybe for the next card. I won't do mauve today. Oh, the QM splatter. I'm just thinking, nope, not sure about that. All right, so I'm going to come in here and I'm going to put my splattery stamp onto, this is a very well used stamp, this one. I've used it, you can see how messed up it is. It's been very well loved. So you're thinking espresso, Megan, do you think so? Not Pebble Path? Let me see. You know what I'm going to do? My espresso might need re-inking, so I'm not sure about that. That's the Pebble Path. And then this is the espresso. Okay, we'll use the espresso. It's dark enough. That would be fine. So I'm just going to add a little bit of splatter here and there. And you'll want to do this when your piece is dry. Not going to go too crazy. Who else loves a splattery stamp? I just think they look so good. You can't go wrong with a splatter. What do we think? Do we like that? All right, I think you can see this, the Pebble Path has got a bit of more of, I don't know if you can see it here, but I can see it's a bit grayer, and the espresso is a little bit more brown, like this one. This one, you remember the old chocolate chip that we used to have years and years ago? To me, the difference between Early Espresso and chocolate chip was that chocolate chip looked a little bit more like a horsey color. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but that's how I used to look at it and think, it reminds me of a chestnut horse. Kind of. All right, so I'm happy with that. All right, I'm going to grab a piece of I'm thinking I'm going to go crumb cake, because crumb cake is a great colour. Or we could do grey granite too, but I think crumb cake might be the colour I want to use today. See how nice this is going to look on here? Yeah, that's good. We'll use that. So let me grab my handy dandy trimmer. Does everyone have a good trimmer? You really do. If you're starting out with paper craft, this will be one of the first things you'll invest in, a good paper trimmer that's got both metric and imperial measurements on it. And preferably has an arm that comes out like so. All right, these are fabulous, these trimmers. Really, really happy with this one. I've had that. We've been through a lot of different trimmers over the years. I've been really happy with this one. I think it's great. All right. All right, so this is a pretty quick, easy card, right? Let's go. I'm going to pop that here. Now, I could use a mat behind it, but in the interest of time tonight, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to stick this down when I find my dimensionals, because, you know, there they are. And let's pop those down. I'm going to put one on each side here, just so it doesn't sag in the middle, because no one likes to sag. Yes, Quiet Meadow is one of my go-to sets as well, Nicole. I was recently asked on the spot. I was doing a guest spot for another demonstrator in Canada, and she asked me what was my favorite set, and I was completely unprepared for the question, but that was the first one that came to my mind, Quiet Meadow, because it's just so easy to use. All right, so what have we got here? We've got I'm thankful with a grateful heart. Autumn teaches us that change can be beautiful. For all you do today and every day to have you as a friend. So you can say, I'm thankful for all you do. I'm thankful today and every day, and I'm thankful to have you as a friend. So those are actually really nice. But I like this with a grateful heart. That's the one I'm thinking about using. I think that's really nice. And then the next thing, of course, will be to decide what label I'm going to use. So I'm going to go to my scrap box, and let's see. Let's pop that on a block. And because I've used the early espresso for the splatter, I'm thinking I'll use it for my greeting as well. I could also go Mossy Meadow because that's nice and dark as well, but I think I'll go with the early espresso. So I am going through my scrap box and looking. This one might be too big. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's too big. And also I think it's too white. I might need to cut a cream or either crumb cake or cream, like a vanilla. Well, I have actually got some vanilla ones here. I've got vanilla in a circle, and that's a bit small. I've got a banner, but that's going to be, I think, too. Oh, it might just fit. Let's see. But I'm looking for vanilla, so that actually is good because it means I haven't got to look through all my banners, because most of my banners are white. So instead, I'm just looking through my vanilla ones. Let's see if this will fit, because if it will, that would be great. Like so. With a grateful heart. You know what? I think I'm going to get away with it. Let's grab the early espresso. It is a good set for sympathy cards. Not a circle. Agreed. Yeah, the circle wouldn't have been right. I wanted a banner. All right, let me pop this on my grid paper so it's sitting straight. That just helps me keep it. Just helps me keep it straight as I'm lining it up. And I think we're going to get away with this. Oh, doesn't look bad. All right. So that would probably go there. Of course, I could put an obligatory vellum circle underneath, but I'm not going to. Not going to do that. I have got some gold. We can use some gold bling. And I could also use, we could do linen thread. That would be nice. Actually, this is not linen thread. This is the multi-pack thread from that we have in the annual catalogue. But linen thread would look good as well. I'm just looking to see if I have any of that. Linen thread is my favourite, or I could use gold twine. There's a number of things we could do, I think. Let me just... Oh, I just had an idea. I know what would look nice. Here we go. I do want to show you this anyway, because in this set, in this same set that's got these beautiful stamps, there's also this pack of, it's this beautiful ribbon, and then it also has copper. Look at this. How beautiful is this? Copper ribbon to go with it. So it's a pack of the two come together. Really, really gorgeous. All right. I'm thinking maybe the copper by itself in this case might look lovely. Another option that I was thinking of would be, this is our wavy trim, okay, and we could have this behind here and have the wavy trim sitting out the bottom so it looks like a scallop edge and that little bit of fibre coming off on each side. What do you think? Do we like that? Does that look good? Because that is really nice. That would go really lovely with our card. So the choices are this gorgeous copper. Don't cover the large autumn leaf with the banner. I feel like it'll either need to go here or it needs to go across the autumn leaf so that the autumn leaf is coming out above and below. So probably about there. So we either have it there, because that would be, to me, a place that would look good. And you can still see the bulk of your flower, sorry, your leaf, or we can go up above. What do you think? Oh, yeah, linen nest would be nice too. Bird's nested behind the banner. Yep, we could do that. Isn't there so many nice options? This ribbon, I just love this copper ribbon. It's just stunning. Absolutely beautiful. So maybe we'll save that one for another project at some other time. All right. So we're going to put it up because that's what people are saying they'd like. And I'm actually going to put on the back of here, you can use seal or tape or whatever you would like. But let me find, I'm going to grab some seal. I think I have some handy. Here I do. And I'm going to put this seal along the bottom edge. So I don't know if you can see that. Can you see I've put it down? Well, you can't see it. Anyway. All right, so now that bottom edge has got some sticky on it. And this is just going to go. This wavy trim is so nice. I love it. Been using it a lot lately. It's on some of my Christmas tags that are going out with my catalogs this week. All right, so just like that. And then a little higher, like you guys said. I'm going to cut that a tiny bit shorter. And then on the back here, I'm going to add a couple of dimensionals, 1 and 2. And we'll pop that there. So it's above the leaf. What do you think? Do we like that? Okay, I think that looks good. It's ever so slightly crooked and I can't bear that. So I'm going to move it and that looks better. And the last thing we're going to need is some bling. Okay, so We could use those lovely gold ones that we looked at previously. Or, gosh, I've got a big mess here now. I've got stuff everywhere. Hey, no one is surprised, right? That's just the way it goes. We've got rustic dots. These are nice. I usually use those on guy cards, but you could also use them here. I think that would look lovely. And then, oh, we've also got some Calypso Coral Gems. Those are nice. Those would go with this. Any last ideas of what we would like? Bronze bling. Yes, we could do bronze bling. And we had that one out for the last card. So I have a quick look in my little embellishment box here. And if I can't see them quickly and straight away, then I will probably do that after the end of the video. So I don't want to waste too much time looking for them, because I know you guys have got other things to do, right? Let's see, there's a bronze one. I found one. I think the bronze would look good rather than the gold. So let's try one of those. Oh, it does look good. The bronze is great. You guys have got such a good eye for colours. Here we go. That's what I was after. Right, one there, and then a smaller one up here. And there we go. I'm going to call that done. That's a finished card. What do you think? Do we like it? Oh, we've had people saying no bling. Goodness me. Rustic dots would look good. Copper would look good as well. Copper bling, coral bling. Yep, those would look good. So many options. Okay, so how did we go tonight? Do you like the cards we made? So these are the two cards. I'm going to have a little bit more of a play with that blue because I'm not, it's okay, but it's just not perfect. And I would like it to look a little better. And I'm going to just leave this copper ribbon here because it's so beautiful. Just so you can see it. Look at that. But other than that, I just think these have turned out nice. So I hope you like that. How did we go? So what do I need to tell you? I need to tell you that if you're in Australia, you need to be in my private VIP group this week so that you can see when I go live with my retired product sale. So it's going to be a buy one, get one free. So check it out. Okay, here's the address again. If you're on Facebook, Linda Dolke's private Stampin' VIP group, and that is where you go to see all of that stuff. Probably at this stage, I'm thinking it's going to go live Wednesday, but there's a possibility it could be Tuesday. So stay tuned and look out. Okay. All right, guys, we went a bit longer tonight, but I hope that you enjoyed that. I sure did. And I hope that you all have an amazing week ahead. Okay. Bye-bye. See you soon.